Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Last time we got here to Fort Condor. This time we talked to this guy, and he's happy. Basically, well, I'm gonna skip through a lot of this. This stuff is boring. Anyway, they have no money because they're broke, and so they hire soldiers, but they have no money, so they hire us for free to hire soldiers with our own money. Anyway, yeah, you can read all that stuff if you want to pause it, but whatever. Basically, they're screwed, they have no money, they want to protect it, but they have no ability, so they have to look for handouts. And since we're in an RPG, we have to hand out everything, help them do whatever they want to do so we can get rewards. And you can go through the big tutorials and whatever. Enough. We don't need to do that. Anyway, so looks like the enemies are climbing up here. Okay, let's see. You can contribute Gil, you can try and let them handle it. They won't ever fail. But if you select ready, you can do the little mini game that they have here. And so, oh, there's only 10 enemies this time. Well, that'll be simple. You may want to deploy more attackers. You want to read that last line because it'll tell you, give you some basics on this. Basically, this turns into like a tower defense style of game, if anyone knows what that is, based on, you know, StarCraft and Warcraft 3. Basically, here's our line here. There's your line. You can't post anything below that point. The enemies will slowly rise up from here, and you will try and defend them. A lot of the time I have a real thought out strategy with this. You want to do all of them, and there are more of these. Basically, you want to set up with a stoner, and no jokes, I already made fun of myself for being a moron. Anyway, yeah, so basically you put this one in place and it will roll a rock down at the enemies and it will slowly attack them. They of course have no HP. Catapults throw a catapulted rock at the enemies, which works very similar to the stoner, except for it throws it in the air and then it lands. And it does slightly more damage. And either of these you cannot move. Then we have your basic units. This is a fighter, and if you look down at the bottom right there, it's a regular unit with no weakness and no strength. The attacker is a fast-moving unit that beats the beast type, which is the one on the left, and the barbarian is something it's weak against, so it loses to it. That's the one on the right there. The defender has the highest HP, the most damage, and it does well against those barbarians, but it loses to the wyverns because they're too fast, I guess. The shooters are ranged guys, and they beat the wyverns but lose to beasts. The repairers can heal your... I don't know why it's a repairer. A stupid word. Anyway, basically they heal your other units. And the worker can set a bomb. I don't think I've ever used these. So, yeah. I'm gonna have a very basic setup. But there's also a way you can cheese the game. And I'm not gonna show it off, but basically what you do is you want to set one unit as low as you can go, such as right here, start the game, run him all the way down here, and if you can kill all the enemies that pop out down here as they're appearing, once there's no enemies on the screen, you'll instantly win without having to go through the entire game. That's a little cheap, and although it would save me money, I'm not going to bother. What I am going to do is I'm going to have a very basic setup. I'm going to do one stoner, and one stoner set to go there, but you can change their direction to another angle if you want to. And they suggested using a lot of attackers because there's going to be a lot of beasts. So I'm going to put one here, and one here. And then I'm going to start the game. I will insert other units as necessary depending on what they send. If you use the R and L1 buttons, you can speed up or slow down, as you see on the right there. So I'm going to speed all the way up and employ, the fast forward button because they're slow. Anyway, this is the Wyvern, so we're going to want to put in a couple of shooters. One like that, and basically I'm going to run him back to that point. And I'm going to want to put a shooter here as well. And I want to move him back here so he's out of range. Not to mention he has a greater range anyway. And once they arrive, you'll get an option to do something with that character. You don't usually need to. Anyway, what else? Mostly beasts and a couple wyverns. Let's see here. If you just... Sorry, I'm going through this a little quickly. If you just hit the X button there, you'll cancel having to input actions and they'll automatically go and attack, since that's basically their only attack anyway. And I think my guys are slightly out of range, my shooters, so... basically, if there's two people on the same point, you can select your shooter like this and move it to attack. And yeah, do that with this one as well. Go move forward a little bit. And in this case, we're going to want to select our stoner, change its direction to that way, and we're just going to cancel him since we don't need to do anything there. And I'm going to throw one more shooter here and move him over this way. Eventually, once all the enemies are on the field, the boss will appear, the commander. And here's... You're going to want to run him over here since the other guy seems to be running past him. Once they engage in combat, the enemies, they will stop moving forward. The point of the game is to prevent them from getting to the hut here, or the shed, or whatever you want to call it. And my attacker is taking a beating here. Anyway, one of them down. So, with another one coming up here, we're going to want to move him over here and hope that he survives. If he does not, I will have to get myself a new one. Let's run him up that way. And take the shooter as well, and I want to run him up that way. Basically, once the boss comes through, he's only going to come up one way, and I want all my units to be able to face him. So, the thing likes to do that a lot. It's annoying. Oh, ding! These people have done this. These people have done this. Yeah, I know that. You can stop doing that now. Anyway, let's move him down here and move him. Basically, the reason why I set them to go up here first is if I just selected over here, they might try and go the bottom route, and I didn't want them to do that. And this one should go down before my unit dies. Perfect. Anyway, want to move all your attackers over here, and you want to move all your shooters slightly behind. They can't move through the rocks, obviously. And now the commander's going to start moving forward. So here we go. We have all of our attackers on the same spot, all three of them. None of them have a lot of life left. And let's see, the shooters. Yeah, you guys can all stay there. I don't know why I can't select the other ones, but there we go. Yeah, the shooters still have a lot of life left. We might be able to take this guy down, but they don't do a lot of damage. Your best bet for dealing with them is a defender. And I'm going to put my defender basically right around here. I want my defender to start taking hits first and foremost. And he might be a little bit too high. Let's move him down slightly. I didn't want him to be super low because I want the other ones to be able to hit. Whatever. He can go and sit right on top of the other units. Okay, now all of my units should be able to start hitting this guy all at once. Once they finally get in range. See, they all started attacking him all at once, and they're taking down a lot of life from this guy. But he's doing 50 damage there to my... well, he was doing 50 damage to my defender, hopefully. He's the only one who would survive more than one of those hits. Anyway, so that's how this minigame works. This minigame will pop up again, and again, and again, and again. 99% of the time, there is no useful reward, like potions or high potions, stuff that we don't need. There's at least one more that you have to do. No matter if you started the side quest or not, there's one that you have to do. Anyway, all of the allies I had left, so we get a portion of the gil that we spent on them back. And yeah, so he finds something on the battlefield and gives it to you, and that's what you get for a prize each time. The magic comb is for red here, and it is quite good, as you can see. Since he doesn't have any materia there that reuses the linking. And if you notice there, it has double growth. Basically what that means is the AP of anything that's in here gets double the amount of AP that everything else does. And so the last place you want the enemy skill materia is there. So I'm going to put the cover materia up here and put the enemy skill down there. And actually I'm going to switch up here. What do I want to do here? What do I want to learn a lot from? I want to do a lot of chocobo lure learning here. No. There we go. You can have that one back. Basically, even though we've already done the chocobo part of the game here, there's a point much later in the game where we will be able to, and we will want to, find more chocobos. And as you see, it has stars there. The more stars, the better chance of you running into a chocobo while equipping it. So I'm definitely going to want to work on it throughout the game, and if I don't have enough slots for the materia I need, I can obviously just throw it out. But for now, I might as well work on it. It doesn't hurt me, and I can get double AP growth on it when there's nothing else that I really want to get double AP for. The only other one I would consider throwing up there is probably Chocomog, because very similar to the all materia, the amount of stars determines the amount of times you can use it per battle. So at this point I can only use it once per battle. That's how they kind of limit your ability to use summons, something they forgot to do for Final Fantasy VIII. You can just spam them endlessly, and not that you'd really want to, because it doesn't help, but I'm getting off topic. Anyway, if you talk to this guy, he'll say there's no activity from Shinra right now, and that's all we need to do there. I have been debating whether or not I'm going to mention in videos whether or what specific times you need to go in order to get the other games. You know, basically once you get to a certain point in the story, you'll be able to come back and do another one of these mini-games. And as fun as these mini-games are, it's not worth it. There's just so few of them give a worthwhile reward, and a lot of them glitch up and they say you get nothing, or they say you get one thing and you get something else. There's actually a point in this game where it says you get 5 tinctures. A tincture is an item used in Final Fantasy VI in place of ethers. There are ethers and there are tinctures, and the tinctures are the weak version of an ether in that game. In this game, an ether is an ether, or an ether. I still like my pronunciation better, so I'm going to stick with it. Anyway, now that we've done that, we can roam around and head toward Junon, which the guy said was to the northeast, I think. Anyway, do we have a new enemy here? Probably. 2 new enemies. Perfect. And your limit is pointless. Anyway, let's see here. We have Neuros. Well, I'm not going to try that. And Formula. At least I found one of the enemies I was looking for. You want to steal from Formula. And I'm going to want to cast Cure. I probably could have used for limit. Let's take out these little dinosaurs here. And... come on, where are you? There we go. You do want to steal from Formula, because you can get a useful item. I believe you can buy it in the next town, but this is cheaper, and I'm a cheap bastard. So let's take out some of these guys here. Let's cast a nice spell on him. Maybe that'll take him down. And Healing Wind. Why not? Had that limit for quite a while now. Don't really need it. Her limit at level 1 is really useful in Midgar, but once you leave Midgar, it really loses its value. There's a few uses for it. Oh, come on, Cloud. If I can't steal this time, I'll do it off screen because I hate doing this. Okay. Okay, there we go, the Boomerang. Which, not particularly useful right now, considering none of our characters can equip it, but there is a new character on the horizon that will be able to make use of it. And it is better than the weapon that they come equipped with. So, want to make sure we steal it now. You can buy it in the next town, but like I said, you can save on money by stealing it here. And there's another new enemy I could show off here. See if I can find it. It's in the forests, I think, more often than not. Okay, here's, well, yeah, this was the enemy I was looking for. These are Capillars, and they have a relatively powerful attack for this point in the game. So, if you wanted to, this would be a great... I definitely want to use Healing Wind here, so Cloud doesn't end up dead. Okay, it didn't matter. Basically, you can run into them in groups of up to 5 or 6, I believe. And if you do, it's a great way to gain limit, to gain limits so that you can use them if you need to work on them. I probably don't need to do that right now, since nobody has learned their level 2, but because they come in levels of, or in groups of up to 5, you can also use it as a grinding point to kill lots of enemies to gain limits for characters. I'm going to work on my limits a little bit in between now and next time, and I'm also going to queue up a battle for next time. And hopefully I'll be able to start with it if I can find it in a timely manner. And we will start with that next time on Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.